everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Jess Rowley, and I'm the Events and Program Manager for Global Game Jam. Welcome to Prep Week. Thank you so much for coming today. We have a great half hour for you. We have a couple representatives from Diversion who are going to show you a little bit about what their product is. We are here today with Omer and Arturo, so I'm going to bring them on stage. Let's see. Give me 1 second. All right. Awesome. Hi, guys.
Hello, hello.
Hi. So a little bit about Omer and Arturo. Omer is chasing his indie game dev dream after over a decade as a software engineer and team lead and almost 30 years as a gamer. And he's one of Diversion's earliest adopters, and now he's spreading the good word. And Arturo has been in the game industry for over 15 years, from making games to helping others build their own, and now he helps developers be even more productive with Diversion. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, let's see. Let me get our situation going. Omer, you have the screen now. If you want to run us down a little bit about what Diversion is, that would be fantastic.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Jess, and hello, everyone. As per the introduction, I'm Omil, and I'm here with Arturo. We are from Diversion, where we make effortless version control for game development. What does that actually mean? Let's break it down. So we are a version control system, which is a kind of system that manages your change history. And what that means is it can serve as your backup because you have a history of snapshots of the state of your project throughout time, and you can move between these snapshots. So it can serve as a backup, and it can allow you to collaborate because you can align your team together through this repository where all of your changes live. We are directed at game development. What that means is that we have native support for assets as well as code. So if you've ever used a version control system in game development context, then maybe you had to have sort of an amalgamation solution between Git and SVN with mutually exclusive ignore files, Git for code and SVN for assets, or maybe you had to configure a Git LFS server and connect your storage. You don't have to do any of that here because we have native support for binary assets as well as code. They all live together in the same place, and we are effortless. That means that we design our product with non-technical people in mind. So you just download it, you sign up, sign in, and you can just use it. You're good to go. There are no terminal. You don't have to use any terminal windows. There's nothing special to configure. You don't have to maintain or manage a server. You don't need an IT person on your team just to be able to work. Now, I didn't come here to do my best impersonation of a wall of text, so let's see what this is actually all about. We have a demo for you. I'm going to go right over here to my fantastic Godot project, which I started following the Brackeys tutorial. Right now, there's nothing here. There's just this knight. And if I hit play, then we're just going to fall through the floor. What a fantastic game we have. I want to take this project seriously. I want to have some backups. I want to start collaborating. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Diversion, to the Diversion desktop app, and create a new repository. So a repository is where all of my where my project is going to live on the Diversion servers. So in order to do that, I had to download and sign in to the desktop app. I'm going to create a new repository from an existing folder because I already have a project, and it is all the way down here, Diversion Demo Godot, and I'm going to hit create. What's happening now is, well, Diversion's creating a repo for me, And we can see this is the new repository, and you saw the icon blip there for a second. It was syncing my workspace. It means that it took the files from my computer and uploaded them to the Diversion servers where they now exist. And if I go into the repo, I can see all of the files from my project. I can see the project do files and the different sprite sheets. What I can also see that I already have a commit that's been made for me, an initial commit. And that commit, we can see right over here. It's the one file that isn't marked as newly added. It's the dv ignore file. If you're familiar with other version control, you usually have some sort of configuration file that tells you that tells the system what to sync and what not to sync, and you usually have to write that out yourself. But we have it for you. It's pre-configured with all of the main engines: Godot, Unity, and Unreal, somewhere down here. And while we're on the subject of Unreal, if I hop on over to an Unreal repository, the action I just did to create a new repository is easier with Unreal. We have a dedicated plugin, so you can see it's free on the marketplace now, called Fab. I just had to add it to my library and enable it, install it to the engine, enable it in my project. And now, instead of hunting for my folder location, I can just go right down here to revision control settings. I want to connect to revision control. I have Diversion as a revision control provider, and I say initialize, and it's once again just going to do it for me. Okay, accept settings. See, it tells me it's syncing in the background. And if I go back into the desktop app, I can see this new repository that I just created through the plugin, and it is now syncing just as the Godot one did before. Back to my fantastic Godot project with my nice pixel art knight, I want to commit all of my changes. So all of these files, like I said, have been uploaded to the Diversion servers, but they're not available to anyone yet because I haven't committed them yet. So let's do that right now. I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to give a informative commit message: night falling through floor. And I'm going to commit, and you'll notice that committing is almost instantaneous. That's because the files have already been uploaded. We have a nice snow effect that's left over from Christmas. And now anyone who would be on the same branch as me can get the changes. Let's go ahead and make another change. Right now, we only dumped our entire project in, so let's add a floor so that we won't fall to our doom anymore. So I have my tile map player here, and I'm going to get some floor. I'm going to add a floor, and I'm going to save. And right now, back in the app, I can see that one of my scenes, the game scene, that has been modified. It's marked accordingly, and I can see it. I can see a diff side by side because this is Godot and the assets are generally text-based. I can see it. I can see the change over here and some tile map data change down here, and I can go ahead and say adding floor. And when I add the floor, if I go into the history view, I can see that both the night falling through floor and the adding floor commit are both on the main branch. For the next order of business, I want to collaborate with Arturo. We're going to build our dream game together. So I'm going to go back into the home screen, and I'm going to add Arturo as a collaborator to my repository so that he'll be able to download it on his machine. So I just added his email, send invite, and he is now a collaborator. Over to you, Arturo. Just help, please. Thank you. Arturo, you are on mute, I believe.
You're right. Welcome everyone. I was on mute. I'm Arturo, and yeah, and good luck with your projects. As Omer was talking, collaborating is a big piece of working on a game jam. And usually, I've seen people and teams struggling a lot sharing the assets, and the last day still like sharing like a USB drive and say like, oh, this is your these are your assets, and add them to the project, and things are not working. So it's recommended that you use a version control system. Of course, Diversion, because it's easy. What Omer did already is essentially everything you have to do. It's free, and so at this point, I have received an email with the invite from Omer telling me that I've been added to a new repository, which is should be here. Let me see. Uh, Let me, okay, here we go. So this is the repo that Omer added me to, Diversion demo Godot. At this point, it's just a repo in the cloud. It's not local to my machine. What I need to do is what's called cloning the repository. So that means I'm going to download the project into my machine. So all the changes that I make will go then and be synced into the cloud. So I'm going to clone it. I'm just going to choose somewhere on my computer. It really doesn't matter where on your computer, as long as you have the correct permissions. I'm going to clone it. The project is pretty small, and also Diversion is pretty fast, so it shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes. And here we go. I'm going to click on it, and you can see that I have the same changes as Omer already added. So back to Godot, I'm going to import that project. Where is it? Here and over here. So I'm going to open it to the other screen. Back to here. And we can see that this is the map, the tile map that Omer was working on. What I'm going to do essentially is maybe think I'm an environment artist, so I'm just going to add some trees and some nice things into the scene. So maybe I'll add this tree over here, this other tree over here, maybe some vegetation here, and some bottles for Omer to have fun with, and also this cube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save these changes just on my project, and I'm going to give the screen back to Omer.
All right, so uh, back over here in the Diversion desktop app, we can see that nothing has really changed on my end because Arturo, as we said, he made changes, he saved them, but he hasn't committed them, so they're not available to me yet. I can't see them not over here in the list of commits, and I can't see his changes anywhere. What I do have, however, is, I'm sorry if I can't zoom in, I have a purple exclamation point on the scene file that we were working on. And if I click on it, I hope folks at home can see well, it tells me that there's a warning on the file that the game scene file was changed somewhere else. It was changed by Arturo on the main branch right now, and I can see that the change is not committed. What this means is that before I start working, I know that someone else has been making changes. I can now communicate with Arturo about his changes. Maybe he should commit them so I can get them. One way or another, we can make sure that we don't step on each other's toes. It's an experience that unfortunately we hear quite often, that people lose progress, can be days, can be weeks, because of bad merges between their work. So what we want to do with this feature is to make sure that you know who's working on what at the earliest possible point in time, even before changes have been committed. And this is possible because Diversion syncs in the background all the time.
I'm going to commit my
And
changes now
oh
on my
yes, yes, Arturo will now go ahead and commit his changes right in the background.
done.
Okay, and very soon we should get them. Right, might take a second to sync.
In the meantime, can we answer the question that's in the chat, Jess? It says,
Yes.
Yeah,
why
definitely. Yeah.
okay, why use this instead of source tree? The answer is essentially like a your preference. If the team already knows like how to use Git and stuff, then maybe you prefer to use source tree or GitHub or similar. What we're doing here with Diversion is to make it very easy for anyone to be part of the project. So whether you're a programmer, whether you're an artist, a designer, you can simply keep Diversion open, and it will always be syncing the project in the background. So you really don't need to worry about like setting up like large file systems and things like that. So that will be kind of like one thing to keep in mind.
All right, so as you can see back on my screen, I received the commit. The warning disappeared because I now have the changes locally. They were synced. And if I go into Godot, then Godot tells me that files have been changed. Do I want to reload any files? And I do. I want to reload the scene. And I just got Arturo's changes right here in my editor without having to go anywhere else, fetch, pull, nothing. I just got the changes. We were just synced.
Mhm.
And back on the merge warning and back to Unreal, I have here for you a 2D project in Unreal as a bit of a demo. I know for the shock value, and once again with our plugin, with our Unreal plugin, I get the merge warning notification inside the editor. I know that there's a potential conflict, and because it's a plugin, I have more control of what goes on inside the editor. I get an actual warning when trying to open the file. So we call this soft lock. It's not actual locking. If I go into the file system, the file isn't read only, but I get a warning that someone else has been working on it, especially in Unreal where you have all of your blueprints or binary assets. It would be difficult to merge them. So we give you an option to be safer and to not lose any work, to not lose any progress to merge.
Right.
All right. So that is it for the demo. We have other features such as branching. We can very easily create new branches and switch between them and merge them. Are there any other questions?
And just also to sum things up, remember that whether you're using Unity, Unreal, Godot, you're creating your engine and also creating your game during the game jam, which I hope no one's doing this, but you can use Diversion. It's good with large files. You don't need to worry about having like a big FBX file or a large texture. It will work out of the box. And yeah, just wanted to mention.
Yes, absolutely. It works. At the end of the day, it works with files, not with engines. We even have a proof of concept for a Blender plugin that lets you have side-by-side diff of a model inside Blender, so you can really use it for anything.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I actually have a question. Is there a limit as to how many people can be using it for one project at a time?
No, there really is no limit. This does tie into pricing. We are free for small teams and an indie project. We have a pretty generous indie tier, but yeah, as you grow, it just affects the pricing, but there's no limit.
Awesome. Do you want to go over what those tiers look like for anyone who's
Um,
interested?
I, I can. First of all, thank you everyone for your time. I think anyone who might be interested can go and find the pricing page on our website. This is a QR code to our Discord server. Um, we're very active. We take feedback very seriously. We're trying to grow along with community feedback. We have over 1,000 members in the Discord, uh, talking, of course, about diversion and help with the product. But also, it's over 1,000 game developers. We're there. You can share your ideas. You can get advice and get help. It's a really nice community.
Awesome. Yeah. So if anybody wants to join that community, that QR code brings you right to their Discord. But I'll also have a link for the Discord in the video description as well.
For
So
anyone
that you
watching on their smartphone, yeah.
exactly,
Mhm.
yeah.
And will be the entire diversion team will be during the game jam monitoring, like the global game jam Discord, Twitter. What else? I think mostly Twitter and Discord. If you have questions, we're happy to help. If you get stuck, we're happy to help.
Perfect. Yeah. And if anybody has questions beforehand, if they are getting familiarized with your tools, more than welcome to reach out through Discord for that assistance as well. Correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, if anybody else in the who's watching live has any other additional questions, otherwise, if you guys have any other cool tools that you or features that you think would be good to highlight, you're more than welcome to do that as well. I don't have any questions at the moment, but if you guys have anything else that you'd like to share for diversion, that would be fantastic.
No, that's the demo we had ready.
Awesome.
When we want to improv.
That's totally fine. I have a history of improvisation, so I iterate on the fly. So we do have a question. Ito says, "Do you have branch visualization?"
Why, yes, Ido, we do have branch visualization. Um,
Maybe you can show it over.
maybe I can show Ido who made the branch visualization feature. Maybe I can show it to him. Um, yeah, we have a can see a branch history. I can see who made which commit when. If I had a bunch of branches, then I would see them all here as well.
Yeah, and then just for those of you who are maybe new to branching, we were thinking about whether talking about branching or not. But I guess if there are these questions from the viewers, I can also show you a more complex repository and
Sure. Do you want me
explain.
to put your screen up?
Yes, right,
Awesome.
just yeah. So this is a different project. You can see that essentially I have a bunch. It's just me working with myself. So yeah, but the idea of branching is, you have like this timeline of development, usually called the main branch, and everyone can collaborate on that branch and commit their changes. So the rest of the team will get the changes automatically, and everyone will be in sync. However, there might be times where maybe I want to test an experimental version of the engine or an experimental version of, a gameplay feature that I want to implement. Maybe it makes sense to branch out. So I create a separate timeline. I work on that. I experiment in there. And then if I like the results, I can merge my changes back into the main branch so the rest of the team can have the changes. If I don't, then I can simply delete the branch or leave it there idle. So it's a very useful approach. Maybe for the game jam, you don't need to worry about branching, but definitely worth exploring down the road if you're continuing making games after the jam. Thank you for the question.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Any
So
other viewers have any other questions? Otherwise, Omer, do you want to bring up that Discord code just one more time? So if anybody wants to be able to join, so they can contact you all directly,
thank you.
that would be great. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's very valuable tool, especially when you have so many people working on a project at the same time. It's you don't want to override people's work. That's probably one of the worst, the worst feelings too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I thank you for having us, and thank you for your work on your end, making this happen.
Yeah, of course. We do actually have a question from another Jess, not me. Someone asked, does the 100 gigabyte free tier count as a per user or a per project limit? And it has been answered now that it
Yes,
is
it
per
is. It is
user.
a per user. Yes.
Okay, awesome. That's very generous of you all, because I know that's a lot of space to give for a free tier.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to wrap this up. This video will be available on our YouTube as well as our Twitch for anyone who wants to review anything that they have seen today, or if you're watching this after the fact, we will have this in our GGJ 25 Prep Week webinar folder that you can review all of the videos and all the content that we're going to be posting this week. We do have a few more days of Prep Week. You can catch our schedule at globalgamejam.org. Thank you, everybody who watched live today. Really appreciate it, and hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day.
Good luck, everyone.
All right.
Yeah.
Happy jamming.
Happy jamming! We're so excited. We're like a week away. it's going to be fantastic. And one more plug. There is we have released the date of the theme reveal. So if you want to see the keynote video as well as a theme reveal live, that will be this coming Sunday, January 19th at 6 p.m. GMT. So whatever time zone that is for you, that is the time that it will be going live. If you would like to see that reveal early, they also will be played at your site when you have your own jam kickoffs, depending on which day that is. Awesome. Well, take care, everyone. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.